Welcome along to the Barbecue Talk Show. My name is Ryan.
My name is Matt.
Yay! How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. God, we've got that down to a badly oiled machine.
Yeah.
I think we need to work on that one a bit more.
Yeah. It's coming on slowly. Yeah, but it's all right. Yeah. It's good. You had a good week?
Busy. It's you can certainly tell that good old Boris has kicked up a few things, and potential that people are going to go back to work. My work's been ridiculous for the past few weeks. What about you? I know you've been a busy chap.
Crazy busy, actually. But you got to do it. If you got to put the hours in, you got to get the job done. So that's what we're doing, and hopefully be good in a couple of weeks. And it's all good. So coming up on tonight's show, we'll be speaking to Ty McKend. He's here to tell us all about his brilliant ProQ brand smokers, plus all his social media and a bit of good fun and chat and the odd beer to boot as well. So first, let's take a forward about our show supporters. The Rusty Barbecue Company can bring you an exclusive 10% discount on all of their products. Meter can provide a 15% worldwide discount on all of their products too. We've also got a support of Globe Baltic coming to the Barbecue Talk Show near you next week, when they'll be on to discuss about their absolutely lovely birchwood charcoal, and also offer you a 10% discount on all of their stuff as well. So please do go and rate and review our show on all the podcast platforms, especially Apple, because that helps us a lot. But give us a thumbs up, like and share as well if you can. Spread the love, because we love you too. Go check out the website and take advantage of all of our discounts. And that'd be brilliant. So this week, Our guest is Ty. He's here for a good chat about all sorts of stuff.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh,
don't forget, if you're in the Apple podcast, do the review. But if you can write what you last cooked in the review instead of "these guys are great," that helps us grow a little bit more. Sorry, back to you, Ryan.
Oh, you throw me off my thingy now. This week our guest is Ty. He's here for a very interesting chat about all sorts of good stuff. You can tell I've read. This is all scripted because I had to write it down earlier, but never mind. He's here to tell us all about his accounts, websites, among other things. So let's get Ty up and welcome him along for a good chat.
Absolutely.
Hey
Ty, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. How are you guys?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I mean, you can't go wrong with the sun shining. Or at least I hope it's shining where everyone else is.
It's liquid here, but it's all right.
Oh, is it? Oh no, that means it's coming my way. I spoke too soon. That's not good. Oh dear. Has it been liquid all day?
No. Last couple of hours, kind of before that was all right. Yeah, been all right today. Good for the veggie garden anyway.
Yep, definitely. Not so good for cooking outside, but unless you're hardcore like Ryan, I'm not sure I want to risk getting my Traeger wet. Pretty sure I'm pretty sure the controller will probably explode if I get it too wet. So we'll just leave that wrapped up nice and covered.
Yeah, need to get yourself a brolly, mate. You'll be right.
I've got a leaky shack. I think the problem is the fact I've got to walk from my house to my shack in the rain that I don't like.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I think next house I'm building like a straight out. That's where it's going, on the porch.
Just knock the kitchen wall out.
That's it. Absolutely. Who needs a kitchen?
It's just the extension lead, I think. That's the thing. Mind you got your generator now that you can drive your neighbours around the freaking bed with that. Smoking.
It's only a little one as well. So, you get the hi-fi running on it and the Traeger, and it's like giving it some legs. And you sort of you hear it dipping every now and then, going, I don't want to do this anymore. So
2-stroke barbecue.
Right. Pretty much. That's it. Yeah, pretty much. That's all right. I've got I've got to renovate a 5 kilowatt one that is just going to be ridiculous because that'll run the house. But it's sitting outside in the garden, and I'm pretty sure you won't be able to hear what each other is saying. So that might not happen.
How to make friends and lose neighbours.
Run the extension lead. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been doing. Yeah.
If they're not pissed off already with a smoker running, they will be with a generator going.
Yeah, I run the generator and then I turn the speakers up so the speakers cover the generator, so you can't hear it. So it kind of cancels it out. It's all right, or at least I can't hear it. Can't hear anything else because the speakers are blaring in my face. But it's all good. All good. So, should we jump into some questions?
Sure. Absolutely.
Rather than talking about extension leads, leaky barbecue shacks, and generators, because that's not what we're all about. We're all about asking Ty all about his company. Oh, yeah.
Serious barbecue in-depth questions we've got tonight. Kind of.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
So,
like how big is your meat? And other dodgy questions.
I didn't write
That's
that.
cool.
That wasn't on the list. That wasn't approved.
That wasn't on the list. That's just
sometimes you just got to improvise with these. Sometimes you just got to improvise.
Right. So this is a nice standard question to get you get us all settled in and get into a little pattern of the interview. So where are you from and how long have you been cooking over flames, Ty? That's like a nice little get us in there and get a feet wet.
I was born in Zimbabwe and we moved over when I was about 11. So, previous to that, we've kind of been cooking on fire for my whole life. My family's always been doing it. And kind of some of my youngest memories are getting home from sort of primary school and going and lighting a fire in the garden and just, often burning myself and that sort of thing, but messing around with that. And
not the only person that burns himself. Yeah. So am I.
And I can't remember really. Probably first time I do remember cooking was a camping trip when I was quite young. I must have been 7 or 8, and we were on a hunting trip out in the middle of the bush. Shot some francolin. And just cooked them on a fire in the ground, and always been cooking on fire my whole life, and the whole smoking thing's a whole different thing though. It's didn't really start till much later.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that one probably takes very close to the top of the what people say initially when they come in. That's pretty impressive. I like that.
That's definitely well up there for sure.
100%.
So tell us then, what's the origin of ProQ brand? And like obviously you had the Max Barbecue Shack and everything else before like you actually got your ProQ website. And so what was sort of like the origin story and how have you got where you've sort of become now?
So when we first moved over, a couple of years after we'd been living here, my dad got a job at a local barbecue shop, and it was one of the first stores that sold barbecues online, like at all. It was before online shopping was really a thing, and the business owner kind of ran into a little bit of trouble, and my dad kind of with a partner bought that business and decided that he wanted to specialize in the American barbecue and smoking thing. So he started importing smokers from the States, and kind of a huge range of products. And just maybe it was a little bit premature at the time. Smoking wasn't as big a thing as it was now, and we kind of he looked at developing like a smoker that we could make. We were having trouble getting supply from the States at the time as well, so it was like promised stock and didn't turn up, and then we missed a whole summer season and that sort of stuff. So it was like, okay, well we'll design our own, and we did that. We designed and produced the first bullet smokers, which were green and they had little wooden handles, and we still get like customer queries every now and then saying like, oh, have you got a spare part for this thing? And I'm like, wow, that's like an antique. It's amazing.
got a classic going there, and it's still
Yeah,
running
yeah,
though.
absolutely.
That's sort of like endearing to the brand itself. People are still using it.
Yeah,
It's that old. So
So yeah, we've kind of always stuck with a sort of ProQ thing on the smokers, but Max Barbecue is the business name, and as well as our own stuff, we sold a lot of other people's kit. And at one point we were selling Monolith, and we were a Weber dealer, and we've sold and used kind of all sorts of barbecue products. And only in the last sort of probably 4 or 5 years, we kind of made the decision that we as a company don't have enough time to do real kind of justice to those other brands' products, because we're focusing so much on our own and developing new products and improving what we did. So that's kind of how we've become just ProQ over the last few years, and we just kind of focus on developing a few products at a time and try not to have too big a product range that we can't manage.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Everything on your website is good quality. I know for sure a lot of the items that you sell. For instance, I've got the cold smoke generator, and it's excellent. It's a really good, perfect piece of kit. It does exactly what you need it to. It really is. We're going to touch on that later on. We've sort of got a little bit of a section on cold smoking, but we'll work down to that as we get there. But yeah, it's such an impressive piece of kit for something such a simple idea. It's fantastic. It's really good. So as a family business, with your father as the designer and founder, like you've been making smokers for a while, but how long did it sort of like take to break in and sort of like, because you were one of the first guys around on the UK barbecue scene, weren't you? Really, ProQ was sort of like Max Barbecue Shack at the time. It was a big brand knocking around. Sort of so obviously you still are, but it was sort of like one of the forerunners for sure. That's what I remember when I first started out.
Yeah, I think we started getting a bit more recognition around kind of when really at the same sort of time as Grill Stock started, and kind of those small first barbecue competitions started really early on, which would have been kind of, I think, a little bit of British Barbecue Society and a bit of KCBS and that sort of stuff. So all kind of developed from there and really was community based, looking outwards. Whereas now it's kind of, people kind of get what you mean when you say, oh yeah, I'm making pulled pork or brisket, or they know what that is now, which is amazing. They don't picture like a rolled brisket in the oven and tough as boots and
yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, developing smokers took a while, and we've made kind of lots of changes since we first started. There've been lots of little iterations and lots of kind of a couple of changes in manufacturers and that sort of stuff. But yeah, we're really happy where the smokers are now, and they're kind of the best they ever have been, and that's kind of why this year we kind of launched our 10-year warranty. So yeah, they're all kind of covered under that now, which isn't something we were able to do before as a small business. Like competing with like a huge giant like Weber has been, really,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, it's been really good.
Good stuff.
Well, it's always been sort of like the thing, isn't it? Like you can go into country wood smoke almost guaranteed once a week. What are you going to go for? Smoky Mountain or the ProQ? It's constant. Constantly.
It seems like it hasn't slowed down. I mean, since CWS was like sort of only 2,000 or 3,000 members, that question's always been like 3 or 4 times a week you get the question.
Yeah, it's always been there. Wow, that's cool. 9-hour cook using
impressive.
So
comment from Lee Bishop there. 9-hour cook from yesterday on his ProQ using the fuel. No need to adjust vents or add fuel. Yeah, sailed steady at 225 to 250. Impressive.
It's a great looking pulled pork. I saw that.
There you go, and he's put the rubber grommets covered by warranty.
You don't cover things that you lose.
You shouldn't have said that you lost them. They melted.
Yeah, they melted. Yeah, I'm sure we'll sort out some grommets.
Oh dear. Yeah. Excellent. Shall we have a little look at your website?
Yeah, sure. Run
through that. Okay, let's get it up. There it is in all its glory. It's nice. I like this website. It's nice and crisp. Obviously, you've got all your different sort of easy bits to go to: barbecue smoking, cold smoking, commercial smoking. Different bits there, and then obviously the pièce de résistance, your bullets, and then I think you've got some of the commercial stuff as well, haven't you? So
Yeah.
these things look incredible. Like, I wonder if the wife would let me. I'm not sure she would, but I certainly wouldn't mind having one of those.
We can wheel it in. You just got to make sure you can fit down the side of your house. We've had a few issues with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ooh. nice and wide, is it?
Yeah. Oh, the smallest one's still about 2 meters long.
Is that right?
They fit like two, like they fit whole gastro pans inside as well. So they're kind of proper catering size.
Wow.
Even it's kind of small size one, and then like the largest one I can sit inside of it quite comfortably.
Wow.
In the cook chamber.
Wow. I like that.
So how many pounds of meat is that good for then, Ty?
Sorry?
How many pounds of meat is that good for then?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to pull up my spec sheet, but I haven't got that with me. I think the biggest reverse flow is about 40 kilos of meat. We did about 40-ish with pork collars. We just did 40 kilos of pulled pork for a birthday that we catered, which is quite cool.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That is a serious amount of meat. There we go. Lee says 2 minutes. Give me 5 minutes to take down the fence. Nice. Dear. Yeah.
And
so who maintains the website then? Oh, sorry, Ryan. Talking over you. Is it something you guys run yourself? You decide what you want to put on there, and
bit of a team effort. I can see that that reverse flow smoker's grayed out. That means there's a problem. I saw that video and I was like, oh no, that's a stock issue on my side. I'm going to fix that. But we run it as a team effort really. Some people update like our dealer map when we get a new stockist, and product stuff's generally me. I do a lot of photography as well.
Okay.
Don't judge that too harshly because I'm not a professional.
Jack of all trades then.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, it's a kind of family business thing. Everyone pitches in and does a little bit, kind of more than they really should, but it's good. Learn a lot.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, touching on the learning. So I mean, obviously from your dad going into the barbecue shop, is it something he's always been interested in, or is it something he's learned and then passed down to you guys, or what's the story there?
So I mean, outdoor cooking in Zim is a lot more kind of I guess similar to Bry, like it's cooking over coals on a grate. So yeah, it's more kind of boerewors and steaks and chicken and that sort of stuff. It's not really barbecue. So when we came here, there was definitely something he learned through working at that barbecue business that he was at. And yeah, cooking on the web of Smoky Mountain and reading kind of all the forums of all the mods that people did to it and that sort of thing. Like at the time, it didn't have a temp gauge, all that sort of thing. And there were lots of additions and add-ons and people saying, oh yeah, I want to put a stacker on my Weber kettle, and like I want to be able to stack it up and cook more stuff in it, turn it into a bullet smoker. And that's kind of the base of where ProQ was born, was to kind of make something that did more than just a one job tool.
And it is as well, to be honest. You get so much more. It's really smart piece of kit. Really
I mean, we never knock like Weber's quality is incredible, and still like they're top of the game with that. It's amazing. We do our best to kind of to go over and above that. But yeah, we put a lot of work into the versatility of the units, and that, I think that's why we have so many like different accessories for it and that sort of thing as well. Try and make sure you can do as much as you can.
Yeah, it's sort of like, well, you've got your smoker, and it's also you take it away for a little barbecue as well. If you want to go pop down the beach or something, that's the lovely thing about it. It's really really nice, and they're all incredibly well made as well. That's the thing. I've popped down and collected a barbecue from you guys when you were giving them away 100 years ago, and one of the overwhelming things it was the quality of the product, like the gauge of the material and how well made it was. Everything just run lovely. I was like, I got this for nothing. This is wow. It's a really cool barbecue. Really, really, really well made. I'm surprised. I don't know, but it was just so kind of you to be give a load away. And well, it's endearing now. People are still talking about it. I'm certainly still talking about it. I gave it to one of my rugby buddies because he sort of like his barbecue broke, and that was solid. That was what, 3-4 years old. Not a bit of rust on it. Perfect. I was like, don't go and buy one of this. You don't need to go and get one. This is a good product.
But those free ones that they gave out made that sort of everybody talk about them. So you've given it to a friend, and that friend's probably then spoken and told everybody about it. And, just that little just makes it spread.
Yeah, I think only a week ago I gave mine away. Like the one I had in my garden from like literally then I gave it away to someone as well because I've kind of filled up my garden with barbecues. So I needed to make some more space, and there was someone in need. So.
Yeah, the cast iron grills are amazing. Like you would rarely see that now on anything, But these really good heavy grates.
Yeah, cast good. I think quite a lot of those kind of style barbecues are doing like porcelain coated grills, which just a little bit kind of easier to clean. Cast iron, it will last forever, but it does take a little bit looking after. Like keeping it oiled and making sure it's nice and kind of dry and that sort of stuff.
The porcelain ones are all good until they start cracking.
Yeah, I haven't cooked on them much, to be honest. I've just kind of once or twice.
My Traeger's got porcelain coated grills, and they're like, don't clean it with a wire brush. Basically, you've got to clean it with a feather duster. If you read the manual properly, it's like, don't clean it. If you're going to clean it, you sit there and scrub it with toilet paper. You're just like, oh, okay.
Clean your barbecue with a Hoover.
No.
I'm not. You're gonna need to go and check your facts on the Traeger forums. Get in there.
Not just Traeger, all the green egg owners also like just hoover out the bottom. It's so much easier than trying to get all the ash out the little hole in the front.
You get it all out there and it's done. There's no. I mean, you've got to imagine. I've got to try and lean into the bottom of the Traeger, and then scoop out dust in effect because it's pellets. And there's no way to just scoop it out. You can't. You have to physically like scoop and chuck it. So a Hoover is so much easier. Just done. There we go. So yeah, I tell you, you're going to go out. You're going to buy yourself a Hoover, and it's going to be an absolute game changer. And then, if you buy the right type of Hoover, like I did, I can use my Hoover to ignite my charcoal, my chimney, proper quick. You flick the switch the other way, and it blows instead of sucks. There you go, lit in about 2 minutes flat, and most of the roof of the barbecue shack is like sort of incinerated because it's got too hot.
That's fair enough. No, I don't own a Hoover for my barbecue exclusively. I must admit,
there's got to be a new clickbait recipe in there somewhere, like Hoover cooked steak or something.
Absolutely. What is it? It's a Dyson steak. What's a Dyson steak?
Nice.
Look at this.
Reverse Dyson.
Nice.
Time on that.
Dear.
Done.
Yeah.
Dear.
It's a suck job.
So let's just try and get back on track then. We've got a little bit of an interview to go after that bombshell of a last comment. So where were we? So what would you say is your most popular smoker?
It's Frontier, hands down. By like quite a lot. So I think due to size, like it suits majority of families, and it will do like a normal kind of how many friends you normally have around 10-14 people, you probably cater for that quite easily. Because the XL's a little bit big. The Ranger's kind of the size where a lot of people buy them for like a camper van or a, you know, static where they go on holiday often. Or if, you know, I've definitely seen a couple on balconies. I don't know what the building management thinks about that. Like a flat, put it out on the balcony, cooking Ranger. I'm sure it's fine, but I'm not sure about neighbours.
I was one of those guys. My neighbours fucking hated me. Hated me.
They got the washing out upstairs.
I got a tendency to fire up the barbecues just as my neighbours put their washing out. They love it. I'm pretty sure they want to have their clothes smelling like barbecue food. I mean, there's nothing wrong with walking around smelling like beef, is there? You know, a nice or beef, smoky, all buried into their clothes
and
their bedding.
I swapped some carpentry tips with my neighbour for a Frontier, so we kind of they get their barbecue out and we have to put the washing away. So now it's like even, it's fine.
Fair enough. I just leave the washing on the line now.
Yeah.
I think the wife's used to it. We just leave it out for a little bit longer just to blow the smoke out of it.
We're just a bit barbecue-y. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's a life. It's a lifestyle. You've got to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
The blue and message to the neighbours. It's not that bad. No, you do it all the time. It's fine. So, the Fogger. That's an impressive looking barbecue. I've seen that in action. I remember Poppy done it. It run forever.
Yeah.
Poppy Hewitt.
Yeah, it's a really nice little cabinet.
Forever.
It was.
Is that a time statement? Forever.
I can't. Well, it's a little bit non-Pacific, you could say, but it certainly went a good 18, 20 hours easily. She said there was like stuff left in it, and it was amazing. Really tiny barbecue.
The one I had at home, I used the same batch of charcoal for like a whole summer. I just had some cocoa shell briquettes and I kept like lighting them again, and then it would cook. And because they're so well sealed, you just put them out again and you'd light them again. And like, what? Lasted me like 3 or 4 months.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah,
because it's
like really nice.
It sort of burns backwards and forwards, doesn't it? On the
it's got like a inbuilt kind of snake method thing, same as our commercial ones. So yeah, built, you know, really high spec. The whole interior is like stainless steel. They're made in Italy, and yeah, you know, really kind of really nice to cook on. I just again, it's kind of one of those things that it's a smoker and it is just a smoker. But they work really. They do what they do really well.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Like, I'm a bit of a fan for if it is a smoker, it's a smoker. Do you know what I mean? Like, I run drums, so you know.
Yeah.
But that is, I'd like one of them. I'd prefer that to a Traeger any day. That's for sure. No, but I think they're really tiny.
Unbelievable. So Lee's asked a question. He'd like to know the official answer for the rotisserie.
Oh, the official answer. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, let me just get my script out.
He wants to know why you changed the design of the rotisserie so you can't put the lid on.
For the context, like we used to sell a stacker ring that was about half height that used to fit the rotisserie on so you could put the lid on the top. Basically, the stacker ring part is really expensive to manufacture. So the rotisserie in that style was about, I think, 120, 130 pounds. And we ordered quite a lot of them. And well, actually we didn't. We ordered the minimum order that we could get. And it took us like 2 or 3 years to get rid of them. Just wasn't selling. So we kind of rethought the design and brought out something that was more affordable using the brackets, which obviously are a lot smaller than the whole ring thing. So, you know, obviously the downside is not using a lid, but again, you know, we kind of measured that up against other products like the Jumbuck, which was massively popular. And loads of people went wild about that thing, and it doesn't have a lid. So we're just kind of offering a viable alternative that actually kind of moves. And maybe the rotisserie thing was a little bit kind of premature again, like without smokers. It took us quite a long time to get there, and it was a lot of teaching people what a smoker is and You know, standing at kind of food festivals and stuff, and people going like, "Oh, where's the burgers?" You go like, "No, I'm cooking like a whole brisket here," and they're like, "Why?"
It tastes fucking incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just, you know.
I'm sorry, burgers. You need to leave.
Yeah.
This isn't the kind of event for you.
Yeah. Oh, we did Royal Cornwall show, and you know, we had like, "Oh, how much are sausages? Like, are you?" They thought we were catering. Like, it was. It's been a long old road. No. It's really good to see people like really know what barbecue is now, and like are passionate about it and taking it up as like a proper hobby, which is cool.
Well, that's why we're here. We get to talk about
I love
it
burning
every
things.
People yeah. Well, every day's a school day. Every day's a school day.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unless unless you've sort of burnt your hands to a crisp, and then you kind of have to let them heal a little bit before you can go back to school again. I've only just taken the gloves off with the Vaseline in them, you know. The last time.
Check. Is that bad? Is that bad? What you do?
Yeah. No, I'm joking. I have a tendency to see how much I can do before I burn myself. So Ryan witnessed it firsthand when we met up a couple of weeks ago, and the challenge is like when you've got the vortex on the Weber, and the chicken wings going, and the challenge is to lean over it and see how many chicken wings you can flip before it burns. Well, I think I'm down to I'm up to about 15 now before sort of skin starts bubbling. So I'm pretty sure the more I do it, the tougher my hands will get.
Yeah, you'd think that, but I think it gets worse.
I'm going to be able to stick my hand in the charcoal basket and move stuff around as I want, and I'll be fine. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Oh, dear.
Not sure that's going to work though. Somewhat.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything.
Yes, I have a tendency to burn myself. If I haven't burnt myself, I haven't done it right.
Yeah, I always catch the back of my leg for some reason. I was like lean back onto a barbecue or something hot, like a chimney starter, like always back of my calf. Just a little one, but always like just gives me a bit of a jump.
No, I get the chimney starter. What I tend to do is, I think I've done it once where I've gone, it's in my way, and I've just dumped the charcoal out of it, and I've gone, fuck, that's hot. And I've gone to pick it up from the inside of it. So from that one, I actually learned that I'm just going to pick it up and I put it outside of the shack on a paving slab, and I leave it. That's
a place where it lives now.
Absolutely. So now it's just for the kids to go and kick over and burn. Now it's not for me. You got to learn somewhere. What was that one? I missed that one.
What, your crispy skin or the? Oh, sorry.
Lee's got some gloves from Mountain Grillers. Awesome. Just picked up. Don't know if you want to move. Yeah. I've got a set of leather freezer gloves. You know, like if you ever worked in a sort of a big distribution unit that have got the massive walk-in freezers, they give you these bloody great gloves. And those I can just dive into stuff. I can literally move stuff like the charcoals. You're not in the right place. It's getting a little bit warm now. But they're incredible.
Mate, someone needs to tell restaurants about those, because I remember like stop counting chicken nuggets at McDonald's for like, half an hour, 40 minutes in a minus 18-degree freezer, just like shaking.
Toasty.
Can't feel my hands. I need some gloves.
Yeah, they're not good. McDonald's didn't care, did they? Used to send you in in a polo shirt and a pair of trousers. Go freeze. No, that's it. Big commercial walk-in ones. They send you in with almost like an Arctic Explorer. Yeah, it's basically like an Arctic Explorer outfit. You go in all hooded up, everything all jacketed, and these bloody great gloves. But they've seen everything. Those gloves, they're awesome. Anyway, we've slipped away from the questions again. I'm so bad for going on a tangent, aren't I?
It's all good. So into the cold smoking we go. Since we're talking about something chilly, how's that for a little segue?
That was a perfect segue. Love it.
So, the cold smoke generator, perfect piece of kit for smoking anything, cold smoking anything. Who come up with the concept? What sort of grabbed you as the idea for you, sort of like bringing one into fruition?
So we brought out our first bullet smoker, and kind of once we started selling a few, first question for a lot of people was like, oh, can I cold smoke in it? Can I do like salmon or bacon? And we were like, that's a good point. Why can't you do that? Let's try and sort something out. So my dad spent many days in the back garden with little bits of mesh and like trying to find the right grades and like making little runs and seeing how long we could get it to burn using like pellets and chips and dust and all different types of wood, and eventually found the right combo, and then kind of went with the maize idea because you could get a nice long burn on that. So he kind of applied for a patent and got that as well, so that's quite cool. It's like our main kind of design right product. It's kind of gone from there. It was one of those things we were like, oh yeah, we'll build that as an add-on for the smoker. That'd be quite cool. And now it's one of our kind of best-selling products by quite a way. It really kind of pushes through winter and kind of helps us be like not so seasonal. Really keeps us really busy in winter, which is good.
I didn't realise there was a barbecue season. I'm sorry, I just thought it went all
I know,
year round.
Yeah. Not really supposed to refer to it, but
the thing you don't talk about. Cold smoking is an awesome thing. It's because you're doing packs for curing and all sorts of stuff on your website.
Yeah. We revamped those just before last Christmas. So we've got a couple of just bacon curing packs and salmon curing packs. And then we've got curing and smoking packs as well. If you kind of haven't done it before and you don't want to mess around with like measuring kind of nitrites and worrying how many grams of cure you have to use and all that sort of thing, our packs kind of make it really simple. It's just like 50 grams of cure, buy a kilo of bacon, put those together, you got some really good bacon in about a week, and then you can smoke it.
That's the way to do it. Packs, messing around with all that sort of gear, you may as well just buy a pack and be done.
If you want to do like 20 kilos at a time and you want to store it out for the whole year or whatever, then cool, buy a bulk bag of cure. But having everything pre-measured and ready to go makes it pretty easy.
Life's too short to be messing around with that sort of malarkey.
Well, it's just a little bit daunting. I don't know if you guys have done this, but like if you kind of start googling like bacon curing and like how to do it and stuff, there's so many kind of conflicting articles, and there's stuff from the US who have like whole different standards on you have to cook it before you slice it, and then you have to fry it again after you've cooked it because they just do the whole bacon thing completely differently. That's American bacon. So you get all this like mixed information, and it makes it really kind of complex for someone who's just like, I want to try this out for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. To have everything in a pack, you can buy it all. Some of them come with little hooks, little bags to hang the meat in, and all sorts of stuff. It's really, really nice little like gift for Christmas or birthday or whenever. It's a really cool thing, I think. If you're curious about doing that, it'd be a really good thing to try. Like I make bacon when it's cold enough. You'd never buy store bake. You'd never buy store bought again. Like I've got some sitting in the freezer. That'd do me probably till August, and then I'll just wait a little bit until it's time to make some more.
Start cold smoking, absolutely.
But you don't even need to smoke it if you get that desperate. You can still cure it in the fridge, and then it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did lots of unsmoked bacon when we were testing cures and that sort of stuff, just to make sure the flavor on the cure was really good before we started adding smoke. And kind of still find a pack in the bottom of the freezer every now and then. I'm like, oh yeah, bacon I didn't know I had. It's the best kind of bacon. It's like finding 20 quid in your wallet that you didn't know you had. Like, wait.
So when you're a kid, you find a £1 note and you think, oh, I'm rich. Straight out of the sweet shop.
Put your coat on from last winter and you're like, oh, I've got a £5. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, I've done that plenty of times. Love that.
Yes.
I'm just looking on the website at the cold smoking kit for the bacon. I'm very tempted.
I'll tell you what,
Do you know I've never
try
done
it,
it?
right?
So yeah,
Do it. Do it. If you've
I'm,
never tried it, do it. You'll never buy bacon again. Honestly, I swear to
is that
God.
right?
Yeah.
It's pretty
Once you've had,
special. It's pretty special.
once you've had your own bacon,
I'm convinced.
Mm.
I'll have to have a look now.
do it,
Oh
mate.
dear.
Do it.
I'm sure the wife's gonna love that.
You found
Shit,
another
I'll tell you
hobby.
what. She might not be too keen when you buy it, but when you start cutting up that bacon and she tries it for the first time, because it doesn't shrink, it's got so much better flavour. No water comes out. Nice bit of belly or loin if you want loin. I'll tell you what, it's delicious. I'm telling you, it's delicious. You'll never try. You wouldn't want to eat. You could buy the most expensive bacon in the shop,
And it still wouldn't touch it.
homemade bacon. Nowhere near. Because you
Right.
eat it.
I'll see you next week then, guys. I'm off to get some bacon. I mean, there's nothing much better. There's let's be honest. There's not much that touches bacon, is there? It is like it's the one to go to for
It goes. It's one
hangovers
of
and
those
everything
few
else.
things, does breakfast, does lunch, does dinner.
Absolutely.
Not many foods do that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very versatile meat.
Yeah.
Getting a bit of bacon hanger going on here.
I'm glad you said that, because I nearly said something that I really probably should have. But
come on! Now you've said it. This isn't the show that you don't just spit these things out, Ryan.
You've started.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm like.
Absolutely.
The mouth. You know what I'm like. Sometimes the mouth starts working before the brain engages. But I've actually
that's it. Just let it run.
What I was going to say now. It's making sausages. I was going to say I'm starting to get a bit of a fascination with that. If you
I want to know what you were going to say before you reworded it, because that sounded far too adult for my liking.
Yeah.
You sat there and you thought, how do I make this sound less dodgy?
It nearly come out, and it would have been a perfect soundbite. I can tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I am getting. I want to know about sausage making. I think that'd be quite a cool thing to do as well. I've never done that, and I think that'd be quite a cool thing. I've done bacon.
I did it with one of the guys that works with us, Matt. He's down near kind of down west in Cornwall, so he has a farmer nearby him who sells pigs. So you can buy a pig and then he'll raise it, and then he'll deliver you a pig. Or you can send it to the butcher and you can have it all butchered and delivered to you. But we decided, okay, let's take a whole pig, let's butcher it, let's kind of work it down, which is really kind of a good learning experience. And with all that offcut and trim, we made some really cool sausages. And again, it's like the bacon thing. Once you've made your own sausages, it's pretty special. It's not quite, it's not. There's not shop bought sausage you can buy that's as good as kind of like a nice chunky ground homemade sausage. And we messed around with like herbs and stuff, so we did some nice Italian like fennel and pork sausage, which is just incredible. And you can make it as fennelly as you want, because I feel like a lot of the stuff you can buy is a little bit kind of worried about being too bold with the flavor, and they want subtle, and I just want to be a nice hit of fennel and nice and salty, and you can like tailor that as well, so you can make a few. Next batch you go, too much salt that time, change it a bit.
You want a sausage that just hits you. And there we go. There's your sound bite. You just rather than sitting there and having loads of sausage.
4 minutes 35. 4 minutes 35.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Perfect. Rather than just have, you can have a plate full of sausages. There we go. We'll put the plate in there rather than the face full of sausages. That are just, there's nothing. But if you have one good tasting sausage, fucking hell, you can't even talk about sausages without it just being wrong, can you? Let's just move on. I mean, one decent one is enough, rather than like 3 mediocre shit ones.
So they say.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Well, yeah. I think we've all got dirty minds. That's the problem.
So get it.
I didn't say
back
anything.
Ryan's like, quick, run away.
So getting back to the actual podcast, where did you pull the inspiration for the rubs you have? Are they sort of like produced by you, inspired by you? Did you make all the flavors, or are they just something co-packaged?
Well, it was a little bit both. So we were out in Hungary with our the guy who helps us and manufactures our commercial smokers, and he said, "Oh, I know a guy who's really into spices, and you should meet him." So we went out for a couple of beers with this guy who basically imports spices from around the world. So he travels around the world and buys like raw bulk spice, and has some incredible stories to tell about that. But also specializes in like Hungarian paprika, which is makes up the majority of paprika that's sold in the whole of Europe, and it's just incredible when it's really nice and fresh. And we kind of said, okay, we're looking for something for kind of chicken and fish and stuff that kind of fits that, and something quite spicy, and then something kind of more like a standard American rub, which kind of like our all-purpose rub suits, because it's kind of paprika, salt, pepper, that basic rub that does all of that, and then something that's really good for beef. So the beefy rub is like a nice little blend of a couple of different types of pepper. It's got a little bit of coriander, and salt. So yeah, that's kind of we work together developing those, which is really cool. We're really happy with those as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with a good beef rub, can you?
No.
Fucking hell, Matt. What's wrong with you tonight? What's wrong with you? Come on.
Do you know, I stopped myself from saying, have you ever rubbed your sausage?
Oh. No, we're doing a serious bona fide interview. You're talking about rubbing sausage and putting beef or whatever. Fucking hell. Excuse.
Oh dear.
Never mind.
Yes, we are doing a
trying to
serious
be
interview.
a serious podcaster, asking some like, boom, yeah, rub your sausage.
Come on, 51 episodes in, Ryan. You should know now that us being serious doesn't work.
I was trying to be a grown-up. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we inject far too much humor into our interviews. It's this what makes us different.
That's true. We're always different.
We're not scared to talk about rubbing our sausages.
Evidently.
Right, that's enough. Right, off from sexual innuendos and onto something that's not.
Well, we're not a PG podcast. We can say what we like. You know what I mean? It's all good. It don't matter. If you are listening, kids, you'll have a word with your mum and dad.
Not
because they know a lot about barbecue and probably a little bit too much about stuff they don't want to be talking about with you guys. So, your commercial smokers.
Yeah.
No, actually, yeah. We can loop back to the other one. Tell us all about your commercial smokers. Have you got any sort of restaurant sort of like any big restaurants installations, or sort of like?
In terms of like installations, I mean, we know kind of Jason Latham, who has Smokehouse in Manchester, or he set up Smokehouse Manchester, and his new place as well has got a stretch. I think the Beefy Boys have got one. So yeah, we sell sort of quite a few of those, and kind of all over Europe again. So there's lots of little hidden spots with the commercial smokers hiding in them.
Well, it's just an interesting question, really, because obviously barbecue is a growing thing. You can see that. And it's just interesting to see where things are popping up and how things are growing. You're sort of like, obviously you're a global brand, so like you've got. Well, I did have a bit of a mooch around your Instagram. Like, you've got pages all over the place. Are you actually retailing in them, or are you sort of like just supported by them? So what's the story about that?
A little bit different, a little bit of both, really. So like places like our ProQ Slovenia page, that's run by our Slovenian distributor, and the Australia page is run by us. So it's kind of a mixture between kind of our distributors and pages that run directly by us. But yeah, we sell all over the world now, which is quite amazing. We've got to do a lot of kind of traveling to do that.
Yeah,
it's been really, really cool to kind of see that pop up, and you're like, oh, we're sending a massive order to Australia, and that's just insane and amazing. Super cool selling barbecues to the Aussies.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Talking of traveling for work, then where's the sort of the best place or the most memorable place that you've gone for work then?
Most memorable, that's really difficult. I mean, like, it's hard to beat somewhere like going out to kind of China for manufacture stuff. It's incredible, and the difference in culture between here and there is so big, so it kind of almost by default is the most memorable, because everything's so different, the way they do things and the food they eat and all sorts of stuff. I've been some amazing places in Hungary. So out in the east of Hungary, they've got like a huge wine region, which I think is really slept on. Like, not enough people know about Hungarian wine, and it is absolutely incredible. There's some beautiful places to stay out there as well, kind of towards the east, and like Eger and Thalia and that sort of thing. I think most people just go, oh yeah, I've been to Budapest, but no one's kind of like, in terms of like people I know, I don't know anyone that's kind of left Budapest apart from kind of us, a barbecue family, which is quite just amazing. But been kind of Copenhagen, and Cologne's also a really special city. We do kind of a big trade show there, like one of the biggest kind of barbecue and outdoor trade shows is there in Cologne, called Spoker. I know a couple of like barbecue bloggers and stuff have popped over, but only like Pitmaster X and a couple of the German guys. Hasn't been like a big uptake in kind of like content creators visiting Spoker, which is quite interesting, because that's where all these major global brands launch their products.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, there you
I
go.
tell you what, if you look through the stats on the podcast, it's interesting to see I wouldn't say we're popular there, but we've certainly got listeners growing around that region, and it's again, it really surprises me where people listen. And thank you for your listening. Don't forget to rate and review, obviously, but. Well, it really blows your mind sometimes where you see these little places popping up that you get like a little map, and you can say, "Oh, there's one there, and then you think, wow,
that's exactly the feeling. That's exactly the feeling I was talking about when you're like, "Oh yeah, we're selling barbecues in Australia. You guys have got listeners like all over the world. It's super cool."
Yeah, it's really, it's really, really cool. It is. You
Crazy
like
stuff where you see some of them. Yeah, absolutely, in the arse end of nowhere, and you're like, "How have you discovered us?" Which, I mean, it's a good thing, and don't get me wrong, I love the fact that people from everywhere. Exactly, I'd love to know where people find our show. I guess word of mouth, or searching.
I mean, a lot of it's through
in the comments. Let us know where you found us.
Tell us.
That'd be amazing. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're going to loop back to a question I did kind of skip over earlier. The items you sell in your shop, they all like you got one of your hats on. Obviously, you got T-shirts and all that sort of stuff. I think it's a whole wraparound marketing concept you have for your produce, isn't it? Because you got your barbecues, your cold smokers, everything. Who sort of come up with the idea of having a brand rather than specific items? What was the thinking behind it?
So we kind of produce ProQ stuff, and kind of found that the most reliable way to deliver really good quality stuff all the time is to kind of manage that process from manufacture. So we produce our own stuff. I mean, it means we're first in the queue for stock. So if like a really big company has lots of orders for stuff, you might be at the back of the queue for that. So yeah, we have worked with other brands, but like I said earlier, we weren't really doing those other brands justice, because we focus on the things that we created and we care about more, and that's not like, it's not a slight on them, but it's kind of that thing where it's like, oh, this is the thing that we've done, and it's a little bit more precious about it,
yeah, definitely. Well, rightly so as well. You put the work in, you deserve the reward, so keep it going. The stuff you're producing is awesome, and it's lovely to see a company do well. It's always good to see a nice company do well. So from commercial smokers, recent cooks. So I remember we so I had a bit of a tech check last night, and he told me you were cooking whole hog.
Yeah, I've got a
Fair play.
Yeah, we did it. It wasn't like a massive hog, but we did it. We did a little pig. It was quite cool. It wasn't like a suckling or anything, but probably 15, 20 kilos, something like that. I've got a friend who had a big metal box built, and we kind of tested out just kind of before COVID started, and kind of changed a few things and learned a few things. Decided we'd try it again, so we did a whole hog, and just to make it interesting, I cooked 2 briskets at the same time.
No way.
Just because you can.
Absolutely. The box, how's he had it designed? Is it upright? Is it
honestly, it's like, yeah, it's upright, so it's basically like a big C-shaped frame with a lid.
Okay. Yeah.
And then a couple of front panels that kind of just lift on. So there's one for the fire and one for the top, and they're literally just little metal hooks that hook on the front doors, and the lid's got a little square chimney in the top. It's super simple. And then we had like a big barrel going full of logs, and we're just shoveling like just fresh embers underneath. Yeah.
So the whole hog, how did you have that? Was that on a shelf, or was that like on a sardo crop type thing, or how did you?
No, we popped it on a rack, kind of Carolina style, really. So real kind of bed of coals underneath, and about probably a meter above that, we had a pig on a rack.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did it turn out?
It turned out way better than the first one. The first one needed a bit more time, so it was more like roast than kind of chopped almost.
Right. Yeah.
This one turned out like perfectly. The skin was a little bit nice and crispy, and like it was just the texture was still there. It wasn't mushy. It was still had a little bit of chew, and the fat was all rendered nicely. So just kind of nailed it this time around, and kind of felt really, really proud of that one.
I'd bet.
Yeah,
I'd love to do something like that, but making a fire pit somewhere big enough for a pig. B, price of a pig would going through the roof at a minute, and that's not just in the UK, that's everywhere. Well, I say that it's the price of any livestock at the moment is through the roof. But yeah, no, fair play. That sounds wicked.
Yeah, it was really good fun. I mean, it was a long day. We started at like 5:30 in the morning. Odin served till like 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Had a little whiskey at about 7.
Yeah. Cool. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's
all good for the Scottish whiskey in the morning. Have it in your coffee. It's fine. It's an all-day event.
The Irish do it as well. Irish coffees.
It's not
absolutely.
I'm envious of you. I'd love that. Is something I've got on my bucket list that I do want to do one day, and I'm sure I will. It's just finding the space and finding the. Well, a pig's not a problem. My friend's a pig farmer, so I'm certainly be able to collar one of them. But
easy.
Yeah.
Nice.
They had a wedding. They had like, when did Mark get married? Probably 6-7 years ago. They had all of their tables, like they had 3 different types of pig, and they're all sort of like old breed pigs. So like you had your Gloucesters, and it was just it's fantastic. All done cooked on site.
Old spots.
Like really, that's what he specializes. He does like rare breed pigs and obviously commercial stuff as well. But he's starting to sell direct to restaurants now instead of to the meat market, which he's been doing for a long time. But now he's finally cottoned on that if you actually sell direct, you can actually make more money by selling a quality product.
They can save a bit as well. You still make a bit more.
Yeah.
Not wanting to get into the price of pigs, but if you're a pig farmer in England, it's hard going. If you're selling to markets, you need to get straight to the restaurants and produce something worth having.
Yeah.
Off of the soapbox, back into the podcast. So, So you've cooked whole hog, and surprisingly quick as well. I was surprised when you told me. I said I've had pork shoulders take longer than that.
Yeah. You don't. I think when people talk about like 18, 24-hour hogs, like it's a big pig.
Yeah.
So it's a really big pig. So in the UK we've got a lot smaller breeds than they do in the States, and you can, if you pick the right size pig, you can change your cook time quite a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Nice.
So now we got.
I'm a little bit jealous.
So am I.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again. Like if next time there's a meeting in a field somewhere, we'll have to sort that out, because literally what is it? It's like sort of 40 quid's worth of bricks
blocks. That's it. It's only cinder blocks. Yeah, exactly.
It's not complex. We can do it. We can make it work.
Yeah, just
we can
make sure that.
Beforehand, we were talking about
a bloody great rectangle into the ground.
We were talking about Pete Hoare and his antics, but he's the sort of guy who you say like, oh yeah, we need a 6x4 bit of steel plate. He'll find it for you. He'll get well involved with building a pig pit. We'll probably have a fan assist on one side.
From the stuff I've seen him do, he's an extremely talented engineer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very, very clever guy. When I was building my drum years ago, he sort of gave me a lot of advice on how to sort of like the workings of it and stuff like that. So off the back of that, I sort of started up a Facebook page just to keep notes on what I was doing. And then that's developed into a fairly decent Facebook page in its own right, where people come in and get advice and learn from each other. And that's off the back of what I learned from Pete. So he's a really switched on guy. Shame to see he sold his drum, to be honest. I would have brought it if I knew it was going. So just for.
He's got one of our commercial smokers in his back garden now.
Yeah,
nice.
Typically.
Bit of an upgrade. I'll just have one of those instead.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're going to move into the more standard questions now, less bespoke. So, a guy from Zimbabwe, you must have had some pretty exotic meat. What is the most exotic meat you've eaten?
I don't know really. I mean, I've eaten crocodile and ostrich and all sorts of different breeds of deer. Probably visiting China, I've eaten like snake and frog porridge. That was quite a bit. It was quite different.
Yeah,
all sorts really.
What went through your mind when you saw that on the menu, like snake and frog porridge? Did you just go, do you know what, that sounds a bit odd, let's try it for shits and giggles, or did you just go, let's do it?
So the cultural thing in China really is that restaurants specialize in like dishes. So this was like a breakfast restaurant that did porridge with meat, basically.
Okay.
So again, because we're Brits and we're being hosted by the kind of people that we're visiting there, they just kind of order for you.
Right.
We don't get a look in at the menu, and the kind of I mean, we kind of, and there's always a little bit of let's see what they'll eat, and we just take it with really good humor, because we do the same thing. But there's always kind of one or two nights towards the end of the visit, like, oh, where do you want to go? We go, okay, let's go somewhere with really spicy food, because the region that we visit, they don't eat a lot of spicy food, so we get our own back a little bit, which is quite nice.
Nice. Yeah. Just don't tell them.
Sitting there so polite, they got to sort of sit there and eat it. Just sort
of, I don't mind it really. I'm kind of happy to give it a go.
Yeah. I'll try most things.
I'm not sure. I think if someone put it in front of me and just said, "There you go, try that," I'd go for it. But if I knew it was like snake and frog porridge,
you find
probably
out pretty
turn
quick.
me off it. To be fair, yeah. I should imagine you probably do. It's a frog's leg. Nice.
Just little strips of frog meat and then little like sections of snake, but like it's not like you expect like an anaconda steak or something in there, but it's tiny little snakes, little sections of that chopped in the porridge. It's quite nice. It's kind of like fish texture meat, but it doesn't taste like fish. If you've ever eaten any kind of reptile, it tastes like that.
I've never eaten
tried a reptile.
I've obviously eaten frog's legs, and that's just like a fishy chicken, with garlic generally.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Fishy chicken.
It is. That's what frogs taste like to me. It's a fishy chicken texture. I've never had any sort of I've never eaten a reptile yet. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but probably not.
Don't often find it here.
No, that's it. Unless you're going raiding through, the reptilian baths at the zoo, and I'm not sure you're going to get one.
Oh, I'd probably eat like crocodile or alligator or something. I'm scared, so scared of snakes. I don't know if I could eat one or any of them.
You've got to assert your dominance.
It's not going to come back to life. It's done. It's cooked.
Yeah, but it's just the
You're dreaming about it, waking up.
Exactly.
Cold sweat. You like the alien moment, but
I was going to say, it's fucking coming out your chest. I've just eaten it. It's come back alive.
next level in digestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. There's only one thing. What did Maddie and Kiki said they'd eaten like a rotten shark type thing? Was that? That
was it like a fermented thing or
something?
Yeah,
one of those.
I know the
Scandi things that they do.
Yeah, I mean the Chinese have got a couple of strange fermented things, haven't they? That they ferment for like a couple of years, and yeah, I'm not sure about that. Anything fermented for me is just a no-go. It just no.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always thought. Like, that I probably, it's one of those things I thought, I don't know if I could. I don't know. I'd give it a go, but I think as soon as you get the smell, like, probably be all over for me.
No, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, 100%. Anything that's got that like
food waste.
I don't want to say rancid smell, but it's going to smell.
You're right.
Rancid.
It is.
Yeah, it's rancid. So anything like that, I'm done. No, thank you.
Here's your dinner. Are you sure?
I think that's a real natural reaction, right? Your brain is wired to take that smell and go.
Yeah, your body is saying you shouldn't eat that. That's not good for you. Your body is telling you to get the fuck away from it as quickly and as fast as you can. No, that's rotten. Get away.
I just couldn't get my head around how you could eat something like that and not be ill, because it can't. I know it's kind of cured, but I don't know. Not for me. Not for me.
No.
As I said, if it smells like food waste, it's probably best left alone.
Yes.
But,
it's nearly as good as the coffee that what is it? Like big cats, mountain cats, eat the coffee beans, shit it out, and then they grind it up. I can't remember what it's called.
Whatever it's called. It's like ferret. Yeah, I don't know.
Very peculiar stuff,
coffee.
But it's pretty. Yeah, it is. I can't remember what it's called. Excuse me. But yeah, it's shat out, fermented, and then it's really expensive.
Oh, it would be. You'd have to spend a lot of money on something like that.
Yeah,
the
poor bloke who has to sift through all the. He's got a hell of a wage.
Nice.
What did you do at work today?
How many coffee beans did you find?
How was your day?
Do you know what? I'm in two minds whether I want to Google this and this go in my Google history or not. I've put cat shit coffee. Let's see what happens.
Don't go for images.
Don't share it on screen. Well,
you talk amongst yourself while I find it.
It's nothing like dead air on a podcast, it's fucking cool.
Kopi Luwak is coffee made from beans plucked from Kvyat's feces. It's the world's most expensive coffee. There you go. Okay. Just in case you wanted to know that you could drink coffee that
you can buy it
shut out
for 400 quid.
Yeah, for one coffee bean. It's more than fucking gold.
That wouldn't surprise you. That would be the type of place you'd go to buy it. Harrods or Selfridges.
You're probably right.
Or
I'm gonna have a look.
Fortnum and Mason. If you were
going
to buy
Starbucks.
Yeah.
I don't fucking think so.
Might be the new Christmas blend. Oh, that's got to be expensive if his mouth's gone open. He's
It's more than
Go
gold.
on. What? How much is I suppose you buy it by the gram then?
Fuck. Hold on. I shall tell you how many grams there is in this silly little pot.
Go on. So how much? So a teaspoon. What's that? That's about a gram, isn't it? From if you're going to measure roughly.
Probably for coffee. Coffee's really light, isn't it? It's like 5 grams of sugar, so maybe 1 or 2 grams of coffee, something like that.
I
normally have 2 spoons of coffee.
It doesn't tell me how many grams. Fuck, it does. 100 grams of cat shit coffee. £342.
I'll tell you, it's 400 quid at Harrods.
This is obviously a guy who frequents Harrods a lot. What do you do? I'm just perusing the cat shit coffee section.
Yeah, again. Oh, gotta have my morning brew.
Yeah.
Fucking morning brew. Jesus.
Those fuckers make doing this cafe. He's there.
That is absolutely mental. Oh my! That's me done for the night. I think. Yeah, that's mental. I'm gonna Google how much it is properly.
I wouldn't even.
Do you reckon they have like coffee shops that do like that normally they do like bean to cup. These guys do cat to cup.
Direct.
Squeeze.
Some poor little moggy harnessed on some machine. Not another cup.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to dry out. You're not supposed to have it wet inside the cup, you know.
Yeah, they're just missing the trick. That's what it is, you know. Why dehydrate? I suppose
oh my god, there are there's places that do it. So they $100 to $600 a cup of this coffee.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't really care what it tastes like. I'm never going to pay that for a cup of coffee. I'll tell you that.
I mean, there's got to be a scam to be had here, isn't it? You're just scooping up normal cat shit and just letting it dry out and blend it up. It's Kopi Luwak. There you go. Come fresh from my back garden. Oh my word. I can't believe that's just absolutely crazy. That's mental.
Imagine if you had a Great Dane, you could make a fortune.
I'm not sure it kind of works like that. It's something. Yeah, I think we should move on from cat shit coffee.
If you could feed a dog a load of diet, could you imagine?
It's not. It's not. I don't think it's. I think the cat's got some kind of certain enzymes in its digestive system that breaks down.
Like the Emperor's... I'm sorry. If you could...
No, the coffee beans poisonous or something until it
dog.
goes through the. Yeah, well there you go. You can't feed it to your dog then. Don't feed coffee to your little mouse. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Great Dane down.
I don't know. I'm not googling how much coffee is it going to take to kill a Great Dane because that's just weird. Those kind of questions are going to get me arrested.
Better left unanswered.
Absolutely.
They'll probably get us a strike on YouTube, that's for sure. I know what I'm editing.
I reckon you're right. 100%. Oh,
right.
dear.
So we're going to move around into what are your top 3 favourite albums?
Albums,
artists, or if you really want to, you can go for artists. It's one we've asked pretty much all of the guests that come on our show. Right. Just gives people a little insight to them.
So, probably quite an old one is like the In Silica album by Pendulum.
Nice.
Like a bit like proper classic for kind of when I was at school or secondary school. That was quite big. Definitely Take to the Skies by Enter Shikari. That was a bit of my kind of emo days. I mean, probably wouldn't recognize me if I still looked like that. Had like hair down to here at one point. I had like silver stripe going through my fringe and the whole lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
rocking it.
Black nail varnish, the whole lot.
I was gonna say, did you go to the point where you were painting your nails?
Yeah.
Were you answered it for us?
I was gutted when I ran out of eyeliner.
Oh no.
I feel so old.
Were you one of those ones that used to rock with big boots as well?
No. I was always more like Converses skinny jeans and like really baggy jeans and chains, and they were called New Rocks, weren't they? Those massive big boots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you lifted those up high enough, you'd probably put a crater in the earth. They were ridiculous.
Absolutely.
See how many chains you could get hanging onto your wallet.
Oh, mate! If you had only one chain, you weren't even
amateur hour.
Yeah,
you had to have like at least 3 of varying different lengths. If one wasn't dragging along the floor, you weren't cool.
Oh man!
What are you doing after school? I'm going down the hardware shop to buy some fucking fence chain.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's hard to pick. Like, Nevermind's probably another one. Nirvana, like, been a fan for a long time, and
I was at school when Kurt Cobain died. I remember that day. I'm an old fucker.
Yeah, it's one of those I had on repeat for years and years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my stereo used to pack up when I used to put things on repeat. I just didn't like it. It was like, no, not going on repeat again. Or maybe the repeat button just got broke from constantly pressing it. Yes, not a bad top 3, really. I like those.
Yeah,
definitely.
Quite a mix as well.
To be fair. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely. It seems that everybody's a bit eclectic with their music choices when they come on here. What sort of music do you listen to when you're cooking?
You know what? I'm quite guilty of just putting on like one of those like Spotify like barbecue playlists and just listening to some sort of kind of bluegrassy stuff, which is quite nice and enjoyable. But I couldn't name who I'm listening to a lot of the time.
No.
But yeah,
I went through a phase of listening to Jaguar Skills mixes, like the old school Jaguar Skills mixes, whilst I was cooking barbecue. And it was like, what the fuck are you listening to? Like all the old hip hop mixes where they just throw stuff together. It was wicked. A little bit of sort of country and western stuff gets thrown in the mix now. Just random music that just comes on. You're like, this is feel good music to cook to.
This it's good.
Absolutely. Get out of my face on this music. Oh dear. Right, the next section is the hot fire round. For this, what we do is we ask the guest at the end of the round to add a question, just so that we don't catch you off guard right at the end. So we'll ask them, answer the questions as quick as you can, as in just what comes to your head straight up. And then, if you think of something to add to the end, we'll add it to the end of the, to the next interview and so on until we get.
This is going to be a really long podcast at some point.
They always tend to be. People listen though. It's good. So, hot and fast or low and slow?
Hot and fast.
Day or night?
Surprised myself there. Night.
Beer or spirits?
Beer.
Lump or briquette?
Briquette.
Pork or beef?
Beef.
Nice.
Whips? Ribs, wet or dry? Whips.
Whips or what?
Whips,
wet or dry?
Wet.
Wet.
Shrimp or meat?
Meat.
Whap it or let it ride.
Oh my god. Whap. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh no.
Oh. Wrap it.
I've got that bloody song in my head now.
Go on. But
Burgers or hot dog?
Burger.
horse, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yeah, you eat horse.
Brisket or short ribs?
Brisket.
Favorite non-meat thing to grill?
Lettuce.
Nice.
Justin? Smoked or grilled?
Smoked.
Nice. You can't really answer anything else apart from smoke for that one. And that was it. So now is your chance to enter something into our hot fire round for the next guest to answer.
All right.
I'll give
with
you
another-
one guess to who put the favorite non-meat thing in.
I don't know. I literally have no idea.
That was Maddie and Kiki.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. They do a lot of vegan cooking, which some of it looks bloody incredible.
I haven't gone through the guest list, but I was maybe thinking Genevieve Taylor, because she's done her like veggie cookbook.
Char grilled book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want a question from me, I think I've got one.
Go for it.
Fat up or fat down?
Oh. See, I'm a fat up kind of guy.
I'm a fat down
Does-
type of guy.
Does the fat melt through the meat, or does the fat protect the meat from the fire?
The fat protects the meat from fire. It all depends where your heat source is, the direction that it's the direction of the heat.
That's a very controversial question. That's why I love it.
Yeah, I know. It depends if you've got a heat deflector on it.
If the
if you've
heat's
got a
coming
deflector
below
on
the
it-
meat, you have the fat down. If it's coming circulating around the meat, you have the fat up. It protects the meat. It's as simple as that. It won't permeate into the meat because the meat is a protein and it's waterproof because we're made out of meat and all our water stays in us.
That's just skin. They're holding it all in. Like
It
a
is.
water balloon.
Like a big bag.
It is.
Like they do in China. Bag, Fanta, straw. Job done. That is exactly what they're doing with the meat.
It's just us walking around.
Absolutely.
We just meat bags. Meat bags of moisture.
Brilliant.
I've done both, but fat up for me. I don't know.
I go
why,
down.
I
I don't know why. I just always have.
Again, it's just heat source in it. So if it's below, it's down. If it's circulating around, like on, for instance, a Traeger, I suppose, does that circulate the heat over, and so that's why you put it up.
Yep. Got a giant heat plate, and then it circulates.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a heat plate. Mind you, with the heat plate, would you need to protect it with the heat? I've never cooked on a pellet grill. I don't.
So, I mean, obviously the Arga is right in the middle of the Traeger, but you've got, the fat tray that effectively, although it doesn't fully block, it's got, the way the fan works is it blows
Got some convection in it, hasn't it?
around. So it doesn't just go straight up. The turbo fan that they've got on them, it blows it about. So yeah. It's almost like you said, it's not quite reverse flow because it's not sealed to that point, but it does a good enough job of causing that sort of convection inside. So.
No, indirect heat, I suppose, convection heat.
No, I don't know. You crank that thing up to 320 odd degrees and you can grill on the fucker as well. It's mental. Leave the lid open and you can grill on it like you were cooking on a charcoal grill. Absolutely nuts. I thought when I got it, I was like, I'm just going to use it as a smoker. Clearly what it's designed for, but you can crank it up to some silly heat and it just grill on it. I mean, I think now they do like a hot plate, an actual cast iron plate that you can put in there and you go to town on it. So you can fry stuff on your hot plate in your Traeger. Nuts.
Oh, right, like a plancher type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I just, incredible. I sing its praises just because it's my new baby, but I've not had a bad cook off it.
Yeah.
If whether that's because I've done all my bad cooks and done all my little sort of fuck ups on all the other stuff that I've got, and that one whether I play it safe with the stuff I cook now, I don't know. I wouldn't say I play it safe. I certainly don't.
Certainly nice and convenient, isn't it? You set your temperature, it just does it.
Yeah, you just exactly.
There's no other variables.
No. And recently, Traeger have just partnered with Meter or purchased Meter, so that could be quite fun with us being sort of Meter affiliated and me having a Traeger. It might be a little bit of fun with some of their devices that they'll release in the future. See how they work together.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'd be cool to see those work together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, have you guys thought about sort of any kind of probes, things like that you can run in yours, or just?
Yeah, I mean, we've just released our kind of first instant read. It's definitely something we kind of got an eye on. It's not something we're kind of actively developing, but it's something we're aware of. At the same time, a lot of what we do is based on that kind of connection to the fire and that sort of thing. So we're not kind of rushing into any kind of temp control stuff. Generally.
No, that was going to be my next question. You thinking about doing any temp control kits? PID stuff.
We worked with SmartFire for a bit, and they're great products, but just kind of didn't really work out in terms of kind of different adapters and stuff you have to hold and like all of this sort of thing. It's quite complex, and with the tech side of things, it's difficult because we've got kind of customer service team that really kind of understands our products and knows how to run a fire. Like everyone knows, if you pick up the phone and call us, they'll know how to cook. Like at the very least, they'll be able to do a pork shoulder. So they understand the way the fire works. Someone goes like, "Oh yeah, my smart fire unit won't connect to the Wi-Fi, and I can't see the SSID on the app," and everyone's just going, "Wow, I don't know really how to answer that."
It's because you've got it in 5 gig rather than 2.4. Not that I own a smart fire or anything like that.
That was one of the main things. That was one of the main things.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely.
The new release that they've done, the third generation of the smart fire, they've changed that. And from what I read, I've got the generation 2 one, and I've found that really good. But the third generation, they've stepped it up.
Yeah, I think they're calling that the V5 or something. So they've had
whatever it was.
Half new releases.
And,
it's a good product.
You can pair your meter probes with it as well. Mental.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I know Mark's been kind of looking at that for a long time, so I'm glad that's kind of happened.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Wi-Fi standards change all the time as well. So in the UK, we decided to do blended 2.4 and 5, and then SmartFire's stopped working, and we had to teach people how to go into log into your Virgin router and turn that off. And they're like, "Oh well, now my Google Home stopped working because."
Your barbecue probe works. It's fine.
Yeah, mate. Please.
Don't worry about
how to cook a brisket.
Don't worry about your dot.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. The problem is I work in that field, so anything with technology, I go nuts for. So I'm a nightmare
absolutely.
For it.
It was a tricky product to provide really good support for, and I think the problem is because Mark and the team are in Oz, they'll get a support request from one of our customers, and it takes it's 2 days turnaround.
24 hours
every
exactly
response.
just to be able to do it. Yeah.
And we have people, it arrives on a Friday, they try it on a Saturday, they're like, "Oh, it's not working." By the time Monday comes around, they're fuming.
Yeah.
I spent 8 hours on Saturday trying to connect this.
Yeah. point them towards the Facebook group and run away. He tends to be fair, Mark tends to answer the questions on that Facebook like that. Even if it's really ridiculous time in the morning, he'll answer the questions. They are good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a few of them where people have that either the units ran away with them and sent the whatever you're cooking with through the roof. I've had that experience. And it's melted all the casing, and Mark's just sent them new casings, which is, for customer service, that's incredible.
Yeah, the support is
you've made a mistake, or you've not charged your battery enough, and it's it's had a little bit of a shit fit, and it's melted itself. Most companies would say, well, sorry, that's user error, you'll have to buy a new one. But no, these guys just, here, have another one. Fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a good experience with my drum on my Smartfire. If you've got one, make sure you charge your battery fully before using it. Otherwise, you might get a few issues where it just sits on 100% for a long time, and basically the bottom of your drum's glowing red, and you're like, oh shit, that's hot. I didn't
realize I had a light out there.
Yeah, well, it was bad. I lifted it was 2 full racks of rib, and they were 20 degrees off done in 20 minutes. It went through the roof. It wasn't good.
Well, keep an eye on those things.
Yeah, I know. That's one of those learning curves. You should never trust technology too much. You should always go and check. You can't just sit in there and go, "Hi, what do you mean it's nearly done?" No. You've got to be lying. Oh shit, you're not lying to me.
We've all had a couple of briskets that have turned into biscuits.
Yeah. See, I've not been brave enough to go out and buy a full packer yet, so I think I will now. Now I've got the Traeger, and it's a little bit more. It takes some of the technique out of it, I guess, doing it on the Traeger, because it's just season it up, throw it in there, and away you go. But
you're going to be fine.
Can't go wrong.
If you can fuck a brisket up on a Traeger, you just
this is exactly what I'm thinking. If I can fuck it up,
is that what you're worried about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend 90. Don't want to spend 90 quid on a packer and then
don't tell anyone. Just don't tell anyone.
Fuck, it's like Gandhi's flip flop. It's just not what we want. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Can you imagine? I brought this packet of brisket. How'd it go? Yeah, it was all right. It was okay.
It was incredibly shit. But, I tell you what, I went to where was it? Low and Slow in Bristol last weekend, and those guys, I was raving about Spitfire in Bristol for a long time, but I went into Low and Slow. Not massive amounts of money, and the quality they're chucking out is damn good. Their burnt ends were something to write home about. They really were. So I think I'm going to do a few more little. I think I'm going to do a few more tours of different barbecue houses around the UK as we go on. It's I mean, there's quite few and far between barbecue joints in the UK at the minute. I think a lot more people it's becoming a little bit more mainstream now, but it's I
would highly recommend both Hangfire and wherever Jason's cooking now, either Manchester Smokehouse or the other little bar up there. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of barbecue places popping up, but a lot of them kind of are more like food producers than barbecue restaurants.
I
think it definitely makes a difference. You see the difference on the plate.
I mean, this was like proper authentic, served up in a little cardboard tray, pit beans, your slaw, all your different sauces. I had my first go on some peach barbecue sauce. It's like, oh my god damn, that stuff was amazing. I mean, I could have just drank that. It was so good. And then adobo chili barbecue sauce. Wow, that stuff just went with everything. Anything you dipped in it, it was just like, wow, this stuff's so good. Time to start making some barbecue sauces with some adobo chilies and some peach. Yummy.
Yeah.
Peachy flavors and barbecue is beautiful. Match made in heaven. Hi, George. How you doing? Thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should have actually called it because the hot fire round is officially kind of the end of the podcast. So what I'm going to do is some clever editing in a little while, probably tomorrow. What we generally do is run a thing called the pub club, and it's just sort of like chatting like this. Just have a beer and a chat and a general sort of degas and whatever. If you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. But first point in case is if you could tell us your social media, where we can find you, all about your website, etc.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can find us at ProQ Smokers everywhere. So that's kind of our main thing, and then ProQSmokers.com. And doesn't matter where you are in the world, that should take you to the kind of website that's relevant to you. Hopefully soon, if you're in Germany, it'll be in German. That's one of the other projects I've been working on recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. I shall run the advert, and like Ryan said, if you want to stick around for the pub club, sure, you can. If you've got to run, then fully understand.
Yeah.
So, cool. Right. Let's run the intermission, and we shall be back shortly.
One second.
Oh.
Thank you, Ty, for coming on. You've been a fantastic guest.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
Please, Matt, come on. Yeah, it's been great. Very interesting conversation. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And if you want to come back on, please feel free. Feel free.
Yeah, we'll leave it a bit more time till I've got some more interesting things to talk about.
Well,
we'll definitely be back though.
Well, Christmas time, push your cold smoky and etc. and whatever. You come on.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
That'd be cool.
Catch up.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Right, so let's run the pub club. If you want to go and answer the door, or maybe visit the smallest room of the house, it'd probably be a good opportunity. It's about a 2-minute break, so we'll see you on the other side.
All right.